Meantime, the White House saying there's evidence Iranian troops are helping Russian forces with drone strikes in Ukraine. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says Iran sent a, quote, relatively small number of soldiers to Crimea. Unbalanced host Leland Vittert is here now. So, Leland, we know about these Iranian drones, but now have this confirmed evidence of Iranian boots on the ground in Ukraine. How worrisome is this?
It's stunning, really, in the sense that the mighty Russian army, that was going to take over Western Europe during the Cold War, is now getting help from the Iranians because their weapon systems are so poor in Russia that they're bringing in these cheap Iranian drones. It speaks to the desperation of Vladimir Putin. The worrisome part would have been, and continues to be, the more desperate Vladimir Putin is, the more willing he is to do extreme things. And we've seen this in the past from him in this kind of behavior. And he continues always down the path that he learned in the KGB, which is to double down and to continue to go down a more dangerous path, which for someone who has nuclear weapons is a worrisome thing.
Absolutely. Leland, you just used the word desperation. Every single guest that I've spoken with has used that word in relation to Putin. Does this change now the U.S. involvement in this war?
Well, probably doesn't change the fact that the United States is providing weapons and air defenses and the like to the Ukrainians. What it does change, though, is the U.S. calculus on the world stage. And what's very interesting is, for as angry as President Biden has been about the Russian involvement in Ukraine and the war on Ukraine, he's pretty hands-off on those helping the Russians, right? We have not seen an air embargo or an oil blockade or some kind of quarantine of Iran. We've not seen really drastic sanctions on the Iranians. In fact, we haven't even seen real support, Nichole, as you and I have talked about the protesters in Iran. Any of those things would help destabilize the Iranian regime and keep them from helping Putin.
Well, let's focus in on Ukraine. There could be yet another major package of aid going to help in this fight, correct?
Sure, and there's two sides of that, right? One is lots of aid goes to Ukraine. The other that we're starting to hear, and it's questions that we asked back in March and April, which is, it's great we're sending all of these weapons to Ukraine, the Stingers and the Javelins that have been taking on the Russians, some of the other HIMARS, the high mobility rockets and short-range rocket systems that we've sent over to the Ukrainians. The problem is that we're starting to run out of them here in the United States, and it's not like ordering Coke at Walmart. Making these systems and making these very precision munitions takes a long time, and there's real questions now, Nichole, that if we had to fight a war, we meaning the United States, say, with Iran, if we were to try and help Israel during a war, and at the same time had to fight China over Taiwan, the U.S. simply doesn't have the munitions, the ammunition, to do it.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.